Great. Okay, it's 7 o'clock on Tuesday, August 26, 2025. I'll call the North Hero Planning Commission to order. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. We've got two sets of minutes to look at from our public hearing on July 22nd and our regular meeting afterwards.
After the MMA, sorry.
That's okay.
This is the public hearing minutes.
Yeah. Look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And the regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve minutes.
Both minutes.
Both minutes of August 26th, I believe it was.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, public comments for items not on the agenda. We don't have any members of the general public here tonight. Correspondence for action or review. Actually, I got something, I was too late in getting it. We'll talk about it later on when we discuss Mike Curtis's replacement. But I did get information from VLCT about the procedures. But we'll, like I said, we'll talk about that later. No visitors. Okay, maybe you can put the July report up there, Danielle.
Yes.
Another pretty straightforward month as far as I saw.
Yes, yep. Yes, so I had a couple of certificates of compliance,
Mhm.
again, so I have to do site visits for all of those before I sign off on those. A few more building permits than last month. There was one for an ADU, a couple for like screened in porches, enclosed areas, one pool, one in-ground pool, one above ground pool. That last one there, Nicole Murtha, she came to the DRB last fall and they had an oversight where they did the work, but they did not actually get the building permit. They got the DRB approval, but they circled back to get that permit, which was great. I'm glad that they did that, but everything else was just very simple.
Yeah.
We did have 3 hearings at the DRB meeting, but I did not issue the decisions until August, so those will be on the next MMA. And then everything, all the permits and all the details are in that printed out packet, but I also have them here if you have any questions about them. And I do have, I can't remember when they all came in, but I have more than one zoning complaint, official zoning complaint, but they're still in progress, so
Okay.
they haven't been closed out, which is why they're not on the MMA yet.
For the same issue or different?
There's one for the same issue, but I'm working with them. It's the people from Briarcliff
Oh,
with
yeah.
the driveway issue.
Yeah.
It's not the driveway issue anymore, it's a different one. But
Oh, boy.
I also have gotten a couple of new ones, but I think they came in this month, so. But I don't usually put them on the MMA
Right.
until I finish them up,
Yep.
so you'll see
Right.
them when they're done,
Cool.
hopefully next month.
All right.
And that's it.
Any specific one that people want to ask or
Questions?
see up there? No. I had just one really minor comment. I think it was on Ian Gross building permit
Mhm.
porch. Under description, it was blank. And I'm thinking, what's this a permit for? But as I went through, when you showed the calculations, you showed porch X number of square foot, so.
Yeah,
But
and
this,
the-
you know,
on the
should
permit
fill in the description.
Oh,
part.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and actually that one, I had to actually do a site visit on that one because I had to do, I think it's 5.5 E, the administrative waiver,
Yep,
when it's less than, to give them a setback that's less than 25 feet. So I went up there and did the site visit, and I think I wrote that on the, maybe I didn't. Here. Bonnie, I remember going up there. It's a beautiful spot. Let's see. Sorry, this is a lot. There we go. So. I
yeah,
did-
that was, yeah, there was
Yeah.
nothing in the description.
Nothing in the description, yeah, right, and that's probably because maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
I know they did a description, but maybe I just didn't include it.
Okay,
On a
that's-
different page,
Oh, I see.
but I
Okay,
did
yeah.
notify
Yeah.
right here that I did the administrative waiver because I
Yeah.
did the site visit.
Yeah,
So I
Yep.
guess I should have just
well,
put
no
a,
big deal.
put a picture in there. They have a patio, a pre-existing patio, and they're just enclosing it.
Yep,
But it's like 12 feet off of their property, or 12 feet away from their property line. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. There's nothing else, and then we'll move on. Okay, status of proposed bylaw updates, and, so there's been two select board meetings since we last met. Where they, addressed the bylaws. Fortunately, Pat, along with me, was at both, meetings, so whatever I forget to say, you're responsible.
I don't have any coffee.
So anyway, the first meeting, my intent was just to go and turn it over to the select board, say, here you go, I took the report. And my intent was just to go through bullet by bullet, kind of summarizing what was in there, and that was gonna be the end of it as far as I'm concerned. However, David Eric was there and he wanted to start drilling in on what we didn't do, which was
Mhm.
change the lake setback. So there was a fairly lengthy discussion on that. And I actually came up with a suggestion I had been thinking about since our last meeting. I wish I had thought about it before our last meeting. But I made a suggestion to the select board that, number one, I've always felt strongly that we should directly relate our regulations to the Shoreland Protection Act. But I recognize that for 50 years, we had a 75-foot setback in our regulations. So my proposal to the select board is leave our language in there referring to the SPA and then just add comma 75-foot minimum. And
Oh,
yeah, I don't think you'll see anything here, but,
wasn't that, oh, no, that's.
no, that
Sorry.
that was basically Andy Alling, private citizen, making that.
Because we had, oh, you were up as a private
Yeah.
citizen, because we had discussed, I mean, the 100-foot.
Yeah,
And we voted that was. voted
right.
down.
And at the time I said I wanted more time to think about it,
Okay,
which I did.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think this is a very good solution. The problem, and I,
so you don't think we ought to tie it to the 100-foot and have it with the state? No?
no, but I think by tying it to the State Shoreland Protection Act, the 100-foot is part of that.
Okay.
But it
yeah.
recognizes that a whole bunch of properties were built with the 75-foot setback.
Correct.
And so if somebody built within the 75-foot, under our old regulations, they would fully expect to be able to put maybe an addition onto their place as long as it was no closer than 75
Fair
feet.
enough.
So it recognizes that.
So they grandfathered in at that point.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it also ties us directly into the Shoreland Protection Act.
Yeah.
I thought the other interesting thing was, we're not alone,
Right.
that South Hero
Well,
and Grand Isle.
Yeah, it's interesting, South Hero still has the 75-foot
Right.
period.
Right.
Grand Isle has the same language we do, just
Yeah,
the Shoreland
yeah,
Protection Act, so.
So,
Yeah.
so all of the three of us are consistent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not that we have to be, but it's, it's not like we're out of line, you
So,
know?
so I'd like to be able to bring it up for action here, but I don't think we can because we turned it over to the select board. I think if we
If they
Take an
send it
action.
back, then we can.
We have to do
Yeah, they can send it back, and,
Right.
you know, whatever you folks think about it, now, look, again, Pat happened to be there, and I think you supported it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, any of you can speak up directly to the select board. Their hearing, by the way, is gonna tentatively on October 20th at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so the more of us that can show up, the better. But like I said, if you agree or if you disagree, I just, at this point, just,
So
Correct.
what was there? Did they discuss?
not really, they were just listening, really.
Yeah.
That night, yeah. So that's kind of where we're in, for whatever it's worth, afterwards, David pulled me aside and said he could support that too,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I think in fairness to kind of what we were talking about always from that, making them complementary.
Yeah,
So tying them together, never, at the same time, it'll be interesting how it plays itself. When you do some reviews of properties and permit applications for non-conforming lots, which there are a lot of,
Mhm,
and that 75-foot thing comes into
Mhm.
play.
mhm,
How that will interact with kind of your decision making.
mhm.
So right now, it's not in there now, or it is in there now?
the 75-foot
Yeah.
is not in there now.
It's
in there
not
right
in.
now.
It
It
hasn't been-
was in there for 50 years roughly.
So when did it actually go at,
When the select board approved our latest updates
So
in
not a
December of
period of
23,
time.
no, a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
So just a little bit before I
okay.
Yeah.
joined.
So the timeline for them is they're gonna make a decision by October.
their hearing will be on
Hearing
October.
on,
They've got a full year from when we had our final public hearing, which
Okay.
was July 22nd.
so they could,
But they're not, I don't believe they're gonna take that long,
long, so they'll probably. act
They'll
upon it
probably
after the fact,
right
sure.
after that
Yeah,
hearing,
okay.
cause.
All right,
I mean, it was Carl who brought up the consistency with the other island, so it seemed like they were,
Yeah.
Harry Parker wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah,
I really don't know
Yeah.
any of them, but they all seem pretty positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where that piece stands. The other item that got some discussion, at the first meeting, somebody brought up our proposed change on signs and said, you scratched out the maximum size, period. So,
Yeah.
no, we said 32 square foot maximum.
Yeah.
Turns out that, that document we actually gave to the select board had one of the older versions of the sign.
That was probably my fault.
What, it doesn't matter. Danielle and I put it together at the
Yeah.
end. So this is the correct one. This is what we agree, and it was, September last year that we agreed to this.
Yeah,
I handed a copy of this to each member of the select board at their most recent meeting. So it said, this is what we intended to say. But I think there's gonna be a lot more discussion on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Before it's done.
oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Didn't David talk about how long they could be up to? Wasn't he worried
Well,
about?
He did mention that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
seeing that in the minutes, but I don't think it was ever, I don't think anything was ever
Isn't there,
decided.
I don't recall perfectly, but about political signs. isn't
Yeah.
There a state.
There's the
reg,
state reg,
The state reg.
Political
And
signs. There's signs
To
I
be,
think
they
about.
have to be
The
removed
election, they're supposed to-
Yeah, yeah,
within a certain amount of time. I
right,
forget
right.
what
So
it
I
is.
don't think that's,
It's a fairly
This is
short-
what, South Hero did. But again, we've already taken our action. It's up to the select
Yeah.
board, but I'll pass this along to them. They've got a section on signs, a whole list of exempt signs. In other words, that you don't have to get a permit. So, their item G, election signs. Temporary election signs to be posted and removed in accordance with state law, VSA, blah, blah, blah. No sign shall be permitted on municipal property. That's actually a pretty
Yeah,
simple way to
yeah.
handle it.
Right.
But
That's South here?
that was South Hero. Grand Isle really didn't have any. They just, for signs in general, they referred to the state regulations.
So-
Anyway,
So it's an interesting thing because I've noticed, signs going up in the town. And I'm not sure if there's somebody, just a owner of a property putting up a sign, but on my, road, somebody put up a 25 mph, speeding sign. And, which is interesting because I think it's 35.
yeah, townwide is,
Townwide is 35.
Mhm.
And but it's not the same color as the town, it's a
Yeah.
yellow sign, and it's got a flag, and I'm thinking. How did they get this in?
Yeah. Well, first, if it's a yellow sign, that's not enforceable. It's the yellow sign is more of a suggestion.
So.
Like the one coming into town.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
So people
yeah, the
really don't.
25
but
mile.
People really don't know that,
Yeah.
but that's.
No, a lot of people don't know that, but yellow sign is. the
So it is
suggestion.
it is not hot.
But it's funny because I've heard this discussion at the select board in the past. Our town speed limit everywhere is 35.
That's what I
Period.
thought.
Okay, but if you go down South End Road around the turn where I live, there's an official looking 25 mile an hour sign. If you go down Abnaki Road, as soon as you turn
Yeah.
down there, there's a 25 mile an hour.
And those are approved signs?
I don't know. I don't know how they got
Not
there,
those,
but they've been there for a long time, but,
I could ask Tracy.
yeah.
that would be an interesting, yeah,
Yeah.
follow, just.
I mean, I like the 25 mile an hour speed limit sign in front of my house, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just unsure where they come from and people have asked me, like, you know.
I think they've been there forever.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's. the case,
25,
If this
yeah.
one's new, like, I wonder where they,
I don't know where, I mean, it just all of a sudden appeared. and it's
I
kind
know the ones, like, all the other
Right.
ones are.
Yeah, but Tracy, you know, if it's an official yellow one, Tracy may well have put that up.
Huh.
I remember a few years ago over on Lakeview Drive, just before the
Carter
turn.
Lodge. Right
Yeah,
before
Yeah,
there they
yeah.
yeah,
did. They put some
Yeah.
orange flags up off it and.
yeah.
Hmm.
But, yeah, it'd be interesting to find out.
Okay, ask him.
I don't know. So I think that's kind of it as far as where we are on the regulation updates. None of the other proposed items got any discussion at all at our hearing or in either of the select board meetings, so,
Oh, that's good.
yeah. Doesn't mean it won't come up again.
Right. We'll share the public hearing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where we are. So again, October 20th tentatively will be the select board hearing. So that takes us to impact fees, David.
Okay, yeah. Brown, what's his name, first name, Brown from Grand Isle zoning?
He's got,
Scott, yeah, he never called me back.
Hmm.
Called
He's-
twice.
he's retiring, so I'm not surprised.
But I don't believe they have impact fees, is that right?
I can find out.
Okay, South Hero does not,
Right,
and South Hero, I mean, I think their take on any development is that the tax money is what they put into their, you know, instead of impact
Right.
fees, they
Right.
put taxes in. But I was thinking more of the CIP, the capital
Yeah.
improvement fund, and, you know, identifying we've identified kind of broadly what those municipalities would be that we would want to put money into, fire department, water department, so on and so forth. It's typically schools, but we don't have schools.
Right.
Will we ever get it back? I don't know. And, some of the stuff that I looked at, well, the main thing is to identify those municipalities and projects that you wanna have done, and impact fees cannot, according to state statutes, cannot pay for, hourly people to
Right.
be able to, you know, work on it. And it does take some hours for people to work on it,
Yeah.
to do impact fees. And the state suggests having a consultant come in, and I don't think that would fly really with where our budgets are right now. But, and then, I kept coming back to something that Warren had asked about. He said, you know, we're trying to get low, or subsidized housing here
Mhm.
out of some of the housing that we have. And I was talking to Pete Johnson this afternoon about if they had ever talked about impact fees, and he said, yes. And I said, so let me ask you, what do you do for low income housing, or, you know, not that we're ever able to build that? He said, well, maybe you do the impact fees. And what that would be, you know, I mean, we would have to set a fee, and I don't know if we need a consultant for that, but I think the consultant is the one that decides. You know, yes, you need to provide impact fees, but he suggested, well, maybe you have impact fees for the big developments. And if they're doing any subsidized housing within that, they go through without it.
Mhm.
I hadn't thought of that, and I think that's a good idea, but, you know, part of it is, you know, I mean, I know Mike, they just bought a new fire truck, and talked with him the other day, and He said, you know, yeah, that, and they pay it off, but, you know, they get tax money, they get some, bonuses here and there, but.
Mhm.
So I think we have to decide whether we want to go through with this or not.
Mhm.
I think it's a great idea, but I don't, I mean, I guess I'm naive in thinking that there's gonna be a lot of big development here. You know, I don't know, and like Colchester has, you know, I think their fee is 158 for a building permit,
Yeah.
and then there's 78 cents per square foot of what they do, Milton is something else, so, you know, you can figure that out, so for $3,000, if you have a 10,000 square foot house,
Hmm.
and is it a bad idea? I don't think it is, but, I mean, we need to decide whether we wanna go forward with it and do a lot more research. I mean, I have a lot of notes, but,
Yeah, it would, you mentioned having a consultant. I wonder if there's
yeah.
any kind of a grant avail, or I wonder if we could tie that in with our new town plan.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the more I think about it,
Yeah,
that'd be the best way to handle it.
I thought it was fairly expensive when the stuff I read from the state seemed.
Yeah, I've got the statute here.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, we need to have a capital improvement plan, which we do
Which we
now.
do have.
But then there's, yeah, it's very detailed about how
I
you
know.
calculate it.
I know, but our capital improvement plan, they didn't have in place any way to put money into that.
Right,
I don't understand that.
yeah, well, it's a start.
Well, where's the money come from?
Yeah, so all those projects, what's funding it, the general fund?
Well, no, you know, like the water department is the biggest, fund user on it, and you know, ours was a combination of grants,
Right.
loans,
Right.
capital budget that we
Yeah.
already had.
Oh, here it is, $20,000 to hire a qualified consultant to guide the town through the process, should it
Yeah.
elect to do so. But I don't know, I mean, to guide the town through the process, I mean.
But, so that just, the
Okay.
places you've looked at that,
Yeah.
that do a set, so somebody wants to build a $400,000 house.
Right.
How much impact fee are they gonna pay on that?
Well, they would have, it would depend on, I don't.
And let's just say it's a 3,000 square foot house.
Okay, 3,000 square feet, I'll tell you. What is our zoning permit?
500 for a new build.
Really, 500?
Mhm.
That's expensive, isn't it?
It just went up January 1st, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay, so, 3,000 square feet?
Yeah,
$2,400,
At plus 20 cents per square foot.
80 cents.
Oh, why is that? What's the 20 cents per square foot?
That's what you pay. You
Yeah.
get the
so it's
initial-
$500
The
plus
app-
20 cents.
So
So
the
the
app-
app go into the CIP then?
I don't know where it goes.
But it goes into the town's fund.
the general.
So
But
the-
just think of it as paying for the zoning administrator and the DRB.
That's the way
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's.
So the
actually-
500 is the application fee, and then when they get the permit, they pay the square footage fee.
Right.
So it's like $500 for me to review it, and then if it's 3,000 square feet times 20 cents per square foot, that's what, 600?
So, yeah, that's a fair amount of money there.
Yeah,
Again, and they're,
$1,100.
So let's say
yeah.
it
I think the
was,
most expensive permit I've seen is like 1,300.
yeah,
let's say it was, instead of 20 cents, on top of that, you added 58 cents, so it'd be another $1,700 for a 3,000 square foot house.
so in order to pay for that $20,000 consultant, we'd have to.
You have to have a lot.
A lot of houses, yeah.
You're not gonna have that many.
I don't need, I know that, but you know, I think some of the worry out there is that people are gonna be able to skate through. It'll put a lot of more burden on
Yeah.
the fire department.
I think, I'm sorry, I agree that I think we should have some kind of impact fee.
Yeah, I do too.
And you know, if you can afford to buy a house, you can afford, I mean, not a crazy fee,
Yeah,
not, you know, but something that really contributes back. You look at
Yeah.
all these cities, you
Yeah.
know, where they haven't planned for or paid for infrastructure.
yeah,
Not that we're that big, but
yeah, we're not
it's
that.
not free.
Yeah,
It's not free. It's not free.
And the more burden we put on our. I
Your
keep thinking
existing.
The water and the fire and.
Yeah.
What, I'm missing something here, aren't I? I don't know, zoning, whatever.
Well,
yeah,
Well, even the cost of what sending
Yeah.
kids, transporting
Yeah.
kids to.
Well, there you go.
School
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's exactly,
Yeah.
right.
right,
Maintenance, like
Yeah,
right.
town.
that's right.
yeah, yeah.
Roads.
So,
Town
so
projects.
what would be directly affected that we could build into the formula that says, you know, we can justify the impact fees because of these costs, obviously the fire department, probably highways,
Right,
we could
Roads,
justify.
Right.
Water department.
Well, but no, we already charge a fee.
You
We charge a hook on
but,
fee.
but
You
that
got the
doesn't,
hook-on
doesn't
fee.
pay for ongoing, does
But
it?
how about your project up here, the water tower?
Yeah,
Who's paying for that?
well, that's what I said. We've got a
Well, it's
whole bunch of
maintenance-
funding.
It's
sources.
also maintenance of the whole water
Sure, yeah,
infrastructure.
that's right, I can, you brought that up
Right.
there. You don't have a
But
school.
you, with the wa, you gotta kind of
The
leave the
water
water
pay it.
aside. It's,
It-
$1,000 a household per se, a year, so right there is how that's getting funded.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Sure.
But
I mean,
they're probably.
it's a municipal water system.
Yeah.
So it has its own,
They're
price. I think you
enough
need to
income
kind of
from
leave
that.
that out of the discussion. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, definitely fire and roads. Yeah.
You know, the big project up here that the state is, you know, with what Tom and you are doing on your committee,
Yeah,
you know, if there are funds available for that, that would
Yeah.
come out of CIP.
right.
But I don't know if we need to pay a $20,000.
No.
I'm not sure
No,
what that would do.
I don't.
I mean, but I don't know if we can just say, yeah, we're gonna start impact
Well-
fees. I don't know whether.
I don't think-
The
I
Gallup-
thought Andy's idea of including it into the town plan.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
we
a good,
find a way to
Yeah,
make it rationalize.
because
there.
if we did wanna try to promote some growth, some housing, I mean, that would be the time to address it. And so we'd consider not just impact fees, but the new state regulations, and I forget the acronym they use, but it's basically tax increment financing, which now
Yeah.
applies to small towns, which basically says if the town can go ahead and build infrastructure for future development,
Yeah,
and they can borrow that money from the state, I guess, and they pay it back from the tax revenue from the development.
yeah.
So I mean, that's just something we should think
and
about.
that's what it sounds like South Hero really does.
Yeah.
According to
I'm-
my guy there, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about North Hero in the next 10 years, overdeveloping itself. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that.
I don't
mean,
think you're
even with
wrong.
this
Our
very
wastewater
regional-
capacity
Yeah,
is.
I mean, it's
tremendous.
just, but at the same time, I think, the way things have gone in this state is a lot of municipalities have been able to overdevelop. And then they find infrastructure is not there
Right,
and they have wastewater, unbelievable wastewater problems. I
mhm.
mean, look at Burlington and Winooska.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Classic example
Yeah.
of how much they dump into the lake.
Yes,
And they still continue to do it, and there's absolutely no, now, the state doesn't penalize if you do bad things. I
Hmm.
mean, unfortunately, they don't, they should. But I think for a small municipality like this, I think it does fit into a town plan. And who the hell knows? I mean, somebody might turn a big chunk of the agricultural land
There is,
into a big development.
Well,
area.
there's
Possible,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
like, I think Mike was talking about, and I don't know the guy, but Yando has been approved for what, one big house or a house?
Wow.
Yeah, yes,
He could
neighbor.
put.
Yeah, my neighbor
He
Paul,
could
yeah.
put seven.
Right.
He's been approved,
He hasn't been
it's the
approved for
state
anything yet.
approves based on the number of bedrooms.
Yeah,
That's
the
a-
septic has been approved, but the DRB has not approved it yet.
Right, yeah,
And it's
but
only
just-
his first
And
round.
it's in the DRB right now, in
Yeah.
their.
Yes.
But it's.
But all he's asking for right now is one subdivision and
Yeah.
one house on each subdivision.
Right.
Ultimately, he's been approved, I wanna say, for 35 bedrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Mike had said seven
Yeah.
houses, so.
Yeah, well,
So that's-
Well, it might,
Yeah.
no, I think it's 49 bedrooms. I think it's.
oh, okay, maybe it's
seven houses-
35 on one lot. and-
7 houses
Yeah.
with 7 bedrooms each, but what they do at the state is if they're gonna go ahead and do like an evaluation of what your septic capacity is,
Mhm.
they approve you for just the
max.
biggest
The max.
maximum that
Yeah,
you can go
exactly,
for.
and that,
So
yeah,
that's why everybody's freaking out about it, because like they don't want 7,
No, that's,
7
but for
bedroom
now,
houses in their
there's
backyard.
only one.
but for now, the thing that came to the DRB was for 1 2-lot subdivision with 1 house each.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is now, and
That's
it was
next to
just
where
a
you are.
preliminary, so they
That's next
still,
to where you are, right?
well, it's up
Yeah,
back of where I
yeah.
am, yeah.
so they still have
Yeah.
to come back to the DRB before they can get even approval for that 2-lot subdivision.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue I see, and that lot goes, the deed goes back, I think, to 1998. But his access is his existing driveway
Yes.
through his you know, he's got his one lot, which is separate from his lot up back that he's subdividing. So, he's got a 30-foot wide, call it an easement or whatever, off from South End Road. And it actually there's a dirt road that goes across a wetland, thankfully for him, cause it's existing.
Yeah.
To get to the
Get to
back
the-
lots. The issue I see is he's only got 30 feet. Our regulations say for 2 or more houses, your driveway has to be at least 20 feet wide and you need a 25-foot setback from the property
And
line.
if it's any bigger, he's gonna have to move it out of the wetland.
Well, that's a whole different, I don't know what's gonna
You can't
happen.
You can't reconstruct over a well, right?
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they would
Yeah,
permit
going to pay the
something like
So it's
that.
gonna be tough for him
Yeah.
to then.
Well, yeah, so his option, and I know he's talked to some abutting landowners, his best option, if he really were gonna develop back there, would to get a right of way before you get to the turn on South End Road across one of those fields. And,
Yeah,
and right now, actually Andre kinda has his own access,
Right.
across one of those fields back to
Oh,
Paul's
okay, yeah.
property, so, I mean, but that's all down the road,
Yeah.
so. It's like I say, right now, it's just.
but
one
there will be more
subdivision.
pressure. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the kind- There's no
That's just one
doubt.
example.
That's one example.
So are we set for now, as far as impact fees, that we'll kind of tie that in with our
Town
town
plan.
plan review?
I think that sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
That-
all right,
yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
So we can make it work if we want to with the town plan without having to use a consultant.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
think?
I
Absolutely.
didn't think so.
Yep.
Definitely.
okay,
Especially
I
at
like it.
$20,000.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
yeah, it is.
Well, we got $100,000 consultant for 2 buildings. And
Yeah.
that is
How
amazing.
how do you get that work? No, never mind.
Yeah, I know. I just,
That's-
but I'm looking for donations.
Is that gonna be approved or no?
Oof, I have no idea. The thing of it is, it wasn't until, at least as far as I was concerned, that brochure they sent in the mail a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw what the financial impact would be. And they said, but for a $400,000 home, it'd be like $500 a year
Yeah.
additional.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So at the time, they still don't have the bids in or the.
No.
No.
No, it's still
It's still
pre-construction right now.
pre-construction.
My big beef is figure out what you want, go get the real numbers,
Yeah.
I think they've got pretty good numbers.
you know,
Yeah,
but. I mean,
That,
I talked with Mike and he's like, all right, we already got rid of the radiator, the floor and this and
Yeah.
that, and it's just like,
yeah, but when you go out to bids, all bets are off because you don't know what the market's gonna be at that
Right.
particular time.
Going,
They've got a pretty solid estimate. A guy that I trained as an estimator did the estimate on it, so it's gotta be pretty good.
gotta go.
Wait, no. Cause my
so our tax bill goes up.
My brother-
Yeah.
Of course, that was like 10 years ago, but,
Oh,
Well, that's it's gonna kill it because.
yeah, that's,
Because
It is.
I'm not sure what the tax rate will be, but you can bond it, I think, up to 20 years. Can't bond it beyond 20 years. And
for that job,
For
yeah,
that job.
yeah.
And it's gonna be a big jump on, and tax
Yeah, it's
rates
too-
on top of school rates.
Which.
This year we
already
gotta
hit.
buy.
Yeah,
Next year.
Yeah, I think it's
look
gonna be a
good.
hard sell.
Does not look good.
we shall see. But the shame is that facility they're in now it's disgraceful.
It is.
Yeah.
So if it gets turned down, what do? Go back to the drawing board?
well, Carl said at the meeting that if it gets turned down because somebody made the suggestion, do one or the other right now.
Right,
Yeah,
And he's like, nope, it's all or nothing,
Hmm.
which
no.
I don't agree with.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could, do the fire station next year
yeah,
and then put a little money into the building that's there to get the public works by,
yeah.
Yeah.
that to me would make more sense.
Yeah, cause the longer you wait, it's not.
The problem is they've pretty much got the money for the garage
They
now.
do.
Yeah, they're sitting on that, so.
Ay, ay, ay.
Anyway, yeah, we're getting
Okay,
off
cool.
on a tangent, but, yeah, it'll be interesting anyway. Okay, next item, the draft, Northwest Regional Planning Commission Regional Plan. I sent the
Yeah.
link to everybody, and I fully trust that every one of us read all 148 pages of that.
Get
And-
back after about one time.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe though how much information was.
That's one of the reasons I wanted, just look at it. I'll admit, I didn't read every word on every page, but I went through the whole thing and I particularly focused on where North Hero.
North Hero was in there, I know, it's. like-
And just,
Speaking of NRPC,
Yeah.
can they be talked to about impact fees too?
Sure.
well, if we, yeah, I think so. If we,
That's what.
my hope is that we'll get
Yeah.
somebody from NRPC that will get a grant
Yes,
for them to help us with the town plan.
Oh,
And so
okay.
then we'll
Yeah.
work that into it.
So you may wanna touch base, you touch base with them all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I haven't mentioned, I guess Greta's the right person.
Yeah, that's right. But also, Pete said that they had done a study, I'm sorry to come back to this.
That's all right.
On impact fees. That they had looked at. it,
Okay.
and He was.
They may have for other communities,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
for
he
sure.
did it when, Pete said that North Hero had looked into.
Oh,
it.
really?
He was telling
But
me-
He was a town clerk
Oh.
10 years ago,
Yeah,
Mm.
until 10 years ago. so,
Yeah, something like that.
8 years ago.
I can check on that.
Yeah, well,
And yeah, if you're gonna talk to Greta, let's, I'm thinking that this fall is the next time to get our names in for grants for, municipal planning, so we wanna make sure we're on that list and do everything we do. But I'll just throw out a couple interesting things I found in the regional plan, regarding us specifically. Good news, we're not listed as, a vulnerable and disadvantaged community. There's a few of us that are. 54% of workers in Grand Isle County commute to Chittenden, 15% to Franklin. There's no public transit, obviously. Oh, there's a map that still shows the sheriff's office being here in North Hero.
Mhm.
It's
yeah.
been several years since it moved to Grand Isle, so I'll definitely mention that. 35% of housing units in Grand Isle County are seasonal,
what percentage?
35. There is 15% or less renting households in North Hero. Here's the big one, targets for new homes between now and
Yeah.
2030.
Yeah.
53 to 80 new
In-
homes in the
in-
next 5 years
In
No
North Hero.
way.
in North Hero.
Well,
So-
as we all talked about,
Wait,
I mean, in this.
50 to 80.
53 to 80.
So if you
They-
times 2 or 4 times that, like the number of people, and you
Yeah,
look
well,
at that at the current
I guess.
population,
Oh, yeah, if you're looking
Right.
at population.
that's just like kind of nuts.
That's why.
So they must know about
Say,
it.
yeah, there's your-
In development.
No,
Or-
no, they don't, no.
No,
That's-
I'll tell you what they know.
yeah,
They know that the state
Yeah.
made this grandiose, goal for housing throughout the state.
Yeah.
Then they went to each regional planning commission, said, here's your goal for your region.
yeah.
The regional planning commission took each municipality in that region and kind of tried to allocate it. And in fairness to them, they've got a lot more for like, St. Albans City.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Swan,
It wouldn't
and-
make-
yeah,
wouldn't
but-
make sense.
But it's still, yeah, came out to 53 to 80 for North Hero, so I think it ain't gonna
80
happen,
is
but
Ain't gonna happen, no, that's.
That would be half, a third of the population
Mm.
Mhm.
increase.
yeah. And then, yeah, just they had a table showing sidewalks in Grand Isle County, of which we have none. So,
And that
Just-
that was talked about at 2 point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you were involved when we,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this study out.
I
front
remember,
here,
I remember that, yeah.
But I was also, they had, I don't know if it was like 16% growth in North Hero compared to all the other Grand Isle towns. And Alberg had fairly large growth
Yeah.
too, more than 16%.
Huh.
And the rest of the county, Grand Isle, South Hero, Alma had very low.
That was,
percentages.
the 20 years, right?
2010 to
2000.
2020.
Oh, okay, just the last 10 years.
The last
Yeah,
10 years. Which I thought was kind of surprising that.
Yeah.
So we're over 800 and something, I forget what we
Yeah.
got.
964, I think, is our.
960.
Our year-round permanent population, which of course triples in the summer. Yeah.
So, but I think a lot of that data in there, some of that stuff we can look at, I mean, cautiously.
Yeah.
I don't think the housing, but I think it will inform our town plan.
Yeah, exactly. That's, so take a look at it when you get a chance. Again,
No, I appreciate you sending.
yeah,
Also, Alberg doesn't have zoning, so it might
Right.
be,
Nor does Isla Mall.
Oh,
That-
does it?
yeah,
They don't even-
They have,
they finally have a town
they
plan.
have a town
now.
plan now, yeah, but they don't have like
As of a year
zoning
ago.
like we had, like. we
They
did.
got really kicked in the butt when they were flooded really badly because they were
Mhm,
not
yeah.
FEMA eligible.
Yeah.
and,
Why is that?
because they didn't have a town plan.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, yeah, there's a lot of things. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of pressure there to have X, Y, and Z, so they want to receive federal monies, but
If
I don't
there
think
is a-
we're gonna be getting federal money
Yeah, I don't
that soon either. Not in Vermont.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll keep that discussion going as we move forward. Okay, next, Mike Curtis replacement. I did look up the state statute and I also asked the question of VLCT. I got the answer a few days ago, didn't realize it till today, but it basically, it boils down to this. It's replacing Mike Curtis on the planning commission is totally up to the select board at this point.
Oh, okay.
They have the authority. Now, they can either appoint somebody, they can call for a special election, or they can do nothing until the next town meeting day.
Wait,
Right.
we don't look at people. and-
No, I'll keep going, because
Okay.
went through this, what, probably 5 years ago now, when Andre came on to the, remember we interviewed?
Yes,
You were
yes,
here.
we did,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
Say
if-
you were here. Sandy.
We're dating ourselves, Rob.
Yeah,
That was at
yes,
least
we
5
are.
years ago, I think.
Yes, yes, it was.
So and I wanna see what you all think. What we did when we had a similar situation was actually one of the members of the planning commission moved out of town, so we had to step down. And the decision was made at the time that we should replace him within the planning commission, so. The planning commission went out, they advertised, took resumes or letters of interest, whatever, and we ended up, I think, interviewing 3 people.
Mhm.
And then we went into executive session, had a vote and picked one of them. And so, but we still, at that point, had to go to the select board and say, you know, we've interviewed these people and this is who we'd like to.
Yeah,
So the question is, do we want to go through that effort? Do we need to go through that effort now, or do we just wait until town meeting day in March? Turns out Mike's, term runs out next March
Okay.
anyway.
You only have, what, 6 more meetings?
Yeah,
Right,
Oh,
right.
I'm okay with doing that.
just waiting, yeah.
I mean, by the time we interview people, get applications, interview people, put it.
Right.
Yeah, you even up another couple of months, yeah.
plus, we're not gonna be in a heavy decision
That's-
making.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, the regs are in,
Yeah.
sort of essentially, so
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
not gonna be a lot of activity, I don't think.
okay, well,
Do you need to send a recommendation?
No.
I mean, do you send a,
no,
I mean, do you send anything to the select board?
don't need to. It's entirely up to them.
So they don't care what.
I don't,
Right, they might say, okay, they're fine the way they are right now, let's leave it until March election
Okay.
and.
But we don't have to tell them that we're okay with it, no?
well, I guess, yeah, we probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that.
Okay, I will,
Then they're gonna say, let's find somebody. It's usually,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I don't know that we need a, well, let's have a motion, okay.
I make a motion that we, wait until the election in March
And-
before we appoint somebody.
And notify the, select board this.
From the select board,
Okay.
That we are in, well. Yes,
Yeah, we know what you.
that we're in favor, of it, but I don't know if we're all in favor.
I gotcha.
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, we'll find
It's
out.
what you could stand that matters.
Okay, so I have a motion,
I second it.
okay, motion and second, any further discussion?
so do you second the hand motions too?
Yeah, I did. No, I said whatever
Yeah.
Danielle says.
Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
I didn't
I'll,
make that Motion, because we haven't agreed.
okay,
Should we do anything? Have you heard anything about Mike's service?
I haven't heard anything, I
Just was
tried
wondering
looking it
if
up and,
it's-
I stopped by, I talked to his wife 2 days ago.
okay,
And so she didn't mention anything
Yeah.
it's kind of it's just a weird situation she's kind of in right now, but, yeah, he went so fast.
yeah,
That's the truth.
Yeah, he went into hospice and he, 2 days. And
Yeah,
so,
and
yeah, but
they hadn't been married that long.
about 5 years. not
Yeah,
too long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was there an obituary?
That's, I couldn't find it.
Yes, I thought there was.
I mean, wouldn't, shouldn't the town send a letter of
Well, we,
thank you for his
Signed a card.
service or?
I mean, we had the card that
Signed a
a bunch of us signed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like
No.
on Front Porch Forum or something? I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for, yeah, like you're saying, thank you for your service.
Yeah, cause he put a lot of time and.
He did,
We
effort
yeah.
did
in-
put a
Yeah,
lot of time.
yeah, a lot of work. and-
Yeah,
And he was on the regional planning.
Yeah.
commission, wasn't-
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Had a lot of service. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
It shouldn't go unrecognized, I don't think.
Well, I mean, the NRPC said something about it, but they couldn't find an obituary to
Yeah,
share,
How peculiar.
yeah.
but.
Hmm.
I thought you had to legally, well, you have to.
Well, somewhere,
Yeah, death certificate, but that's not an obituary.
yeah.
Right.
mm. Yeah.
I don't know what his original hometown was, but maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
wherever it was.
he
it's
was,
an
he's
obituary.
actually from St. Albans.
Well, most,
Or
I don't know that he was originally. from St.
Originally
Albans.
from there. I
Yeah,
think that's where he did most of his
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
That's professional.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, anyway, we miss him.
Yeah, that's,
She's not doing well at all.
Really?
Is she?
Yeah.
From what it
is
was.
she also ill or just?
She's got really, bad foot problems, so she can barely
Get her-
walk.
Oh, sorry.
So she's in a lot of pain. It's just, the whole thing is just like, oh.
Yeah,
It's awful. It really is awful.
Yeah.
But she's got a pretty good support circle on that. So she's got friends and she's got 2 daughters and
Well, that's
he
good.
has kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, it's just bad.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Well, let's all keep our eyes open for any kind of service or memorial, whatever, and if somebody sees something, they
Yeah.
can send out to
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can ask her to.
okay, yeah. Okay, well, that's it for new business. Future business, the town plan, which will end up being a biggie.
When do we start? How does that process work? I mean, when do we start?
I would suggest, well, like I said, I really want to get a grant to have
Right,
somebody
right.
to, a facilitator, hopefully somebody. from-
What we had before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's a lot to it.
There is a lot to it. One thing we can do, which I think might be constructive, is to take our existing town plan, put it up here, maybe do one section per meeting, just because I know there's a lot of things that are already out of date there.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
Right, that's a good
As
idea.
As a ZA, I will just say so I'm also the ZA for the town of Sheldon. And they're working on their new town plan right now, and what they're doing is going through it one article at a time per meeting.
yeah,
So prior to their meetings, they're all reviewing it and seeing
Right.
what they wanna update and then bringing all those
Oh, that's good. idea.
ideas to the meeting.
Yeah.
And then finalizing it in the minutes and then doing the next article. at the
do they have a facilitator? Or are they just doing it? They're just doing it themselves?
Well, no, not you, no, they're just doing it themselves, yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
But I mean,
where-
it's
where-
much less complicated.
yeah, they don't have all the lakefront.
Right.
Where you get into a facilitator is if you open it up to get voices all over in your town.
That's the key,
And you wanna bring in,
yeah,
kind of feedback
yeah.
relative.
That's really what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. What, we can all say, well, we think it should.
And get out of the public hearing.
Right,
window, but
Yeah, I wanna get feedback.
Feedback and just getting some open feedback from people's.
So-
Right.
point of view.
I think I'd mentioned this to Andy, but I'll mention, my husband and I have had theoretically, we're retired now. I don't know. I think I'd rather
Me
go
too.
back to work.
Yeah, theoretically.
Right.
Retiring is way too much work, but we had a marketing research company and we did research for educational institutions and corporations, lots of people, member organizations. So, I mean, I can bring you what we worked on, but in any event, if it's something where we could send out, I mean, once we know what we're doing or know what kind of questions we have, one way we could get additional feedback, and that doesn't preclude doing facilitators, but just so we get to people that might not come to a meeting.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep,
and,
yep.
or would not feel comfortable sharing their opinion.
Yeah.
We can do a survey and, you know, like I said, we did this for, you know, we've done it for like 30 years, so
Great,
we know a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
yeah,
We'd be happy to do that.
perfect.
And,
That would be phenomenal.
you know, in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and research, it's one of those things, it's a tool. You don't,
Right.
it doesn't make decisions. And if you don't like what you're hearing, then.
Yeah.
You know you don't like it and
Mhm.
go do
Yeah.
what you think you
Yeah.
need to do.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, I wouldn't want you to feel like if you did it, then you're obligated to do what people say.
Yeah,
Because that's
and
not.
my
that's not
hunch
how it
is,
works.
because this is an older community, we're gonna get some really interesting
Yeah,
focus on future needs, for
Mhm.
what people perceive they need.
well, that's
you know,
interesting.
Because like, is cider,
Yeah,
That's
it's a
it.
big deal.
that's it. We don't have a
But,
lot
but
of,
it's huge that we even have that.
yeah,
That's a
huge that we
wonderful
have
thing.
that,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of communities that have really thought about that, you know? Kind of, because if our demographic is kind of the same, and I'm not talking necessarily about the seasonal, I'm talking about the full-time resident.
Yeah.
Kind of what so we could, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And coming up with the right
We
questions.
would all, I mean, I would be writing the questions, we'd be doing
Yeah.
that, we'd be doing it together, so you have, and then, yeah, I mean, we'd be
Yeah. that's
sharing
good.
our
Yeah.
thoughts, it's not a one, anyway, I just offer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something, so.
so,
Like a damn pharmacy.
So Andy, we would start talking
I,
about it.
well, I think
You're on
where we're
Google
gonna
Zoom,
start,
good, but
what,
specifically-
where we're gonna start at our next meeting is we'll call our existing town plan and we'll just start going through that and discussing it. And what we think is good, what's not so
Right.
good, what
Or
needs to
what's
be
missing.
updated.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good start, and then have that available for when we do get a facilitator to really start working on the new one. You know, we'll identify the good and the bad of our existing town.
Do you usually take a year to do?
Well, it takes a year, yeah. You will-
I just don't know. And you're still here?
Robin's still he's still recovering from the last one.
You
Yeah,
usually-
it takes a long time, it does.
Yeah, it takes a half year.
It was before I was on the planning commission, 2020 is,
Yeah, it was before I was.
Yeah.
Maybe this format will help us do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
okay. So that's what we'll do starting next meeting is, look at our
Excellent.
existing town plan.
Good.
Okay, so that kind of is, builds the agenda. Any commissioner announcements? I'll just give everybody a quick update on our project at Station Road if you're interested. The foundations have been completed for the tank itself, and there's a little pump building next to it. The tank contractor is there this week. They're gonna be placing the bottom slab. The tank components will be delivered a week from Monday. But anyway, starting the Monday after Labor Day, they're gonna come on site to erect the tank itself. They expect to get it done in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's only 35, 40, about 40, I think, I want to 36 diameter by top of the dome is maybe 40 feet high. It's not huge.
I think that's right.
Now they just need to connect the pipe.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah, that's,
Ledge.
they've got part of the pipe in there. John Bolak's gonna be, he's a sub of a sub contractor. But he's got some backfilling to do around the buildings.
Yeah,
Once he gets that done, he'll get onto the pipe out to the station. It's about 500 feet, the tank out to Station Road. So there'll be a pipe connection and also an electrical connection coming through there. So anyway, job's going pretty well right now, still looking at a completion in November.
That's good.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
think Albert will be done by November,
Who?
Albert.
Well, they're building a whole tower, I mean, they're building a tower, right?
Well, no.
Oh, you're
that
talking
was
about,
The extension.
oh, yeah,
Really? Oh,
yeah, I can't speak for them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else? Looking for that last motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
You guys,
Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, you do, Danielle.
You.
we're talking with Mike and I said, well, maybe the town should try to get the school done, make the municipal garage